I think we're live. I'm going to record.
Okay.
All right. Hi,
Hi, Cara.
Chanel. Hi. Happy New Year, everyone. This is our first Good Good Girlfriends chat of the new year. And I hope everyone is had a wonderful holiday and is healthy out there. And I'm excited tonight because I have as my special guest, I want to call her my little cousin, but I can't call her, she's grown up now, but she's my cousin, my younger cousin, and she is a wealth of knowledge. So I know a lot of people start off the new year with all kinds of resolutions or goals, whatever you want to call them. And one of them is always around um, having a healthier lifestyle. And so I asked Chanel to join us tonight because a while ago, she and I were having a chit chat, and she shared with me all these wonderful food hacks. And I was like, what? I never knew any of these things. So I thought it was great to have her come on and share them. And if anybody's watching out there, if you all have food hacks or food things around food that you think we should know, please share them as well. But so, yes, I'd like to introduce Chanel Britt, and her company is called That Britt Girl. So hi,
Hello there. How are you guys?
Chanel. We're doing great. I'm doing great. So tell me. So this remember our discussion that day? We started talking, and you were sharing some things about fruits and vegetables and how I could preserve
Yes.
them longer and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So let's start with that. Or no, let's start with you introducing yourself. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So my name is Chanel Britt. I am, I guess, the owner of That Britt Girl LLC. I'm a food blogger, so I write articles about food, and I write about food experiences, food hacks, what to do in sticky food situations. I've written articles about what do you do when you go to someone's house and the food just does not taste well at all. You don't want to offend them, but what do you do? I've written articles about food trends such as recalls on certain products. I've done like little hacks like what we discussed about how to preserve your food and your seasons and things of this sort. So that's one aspect of my company is the blog. The second aspect is that I create spices. I make them myself. I make them at home and I sell them. And you can customize your experience. You can add ingredients. You can take ingredients away. You can just tell me what you want. You might want cilantro, thyme, and green peppers together. I can make that for you. So that's my business in a nutshell.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about your business towards the end of this discussion too, because I want to get deeper into that. Because I have tried your spices. I just had some chicken breast yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I just made some chicken breast with that chicken seasoning, and
Oh,
all I used on it and a little pepper. I just used that seasoning and a little pepper, and it was delicious. So
good.
talk
Okay,
about the seasonings a little later and the business a little later. But let's jump in. And it looks like our good girlfriend Jeanette has joined us.
Hi, I'm sorry, guys.
okay.
I'm trying to find my um cord to my laptop. This is terrible. I
Hey,
had company in the house for a couple of weeks. Some stuff is
Jeanette usually gives our disclosure that we're not experts. We're just out here sharing information with our good girlfriends, as good girlfriends do from our virtual living room. So I will give her disclosure as she sets herself up. So okay, so Chanel, jump in. Tell us some things. What should we know about food?
Okay. So we'll start with preserving your foods. Have you ever kind of said to yourself, I bought some bananas on Monday and then Wednesday they've already started to ripe, or maybe you bought some tomatoes and then the next day they're starting to get mushy and soggy. You're like, hey, that kind of went bad really quickly. Well, most of the time it's because you're not storing them correctly.
Mm.
So certain fruits and vegetables, they can't hang out with each other. And the title of the article that I wrote on my blog is We Can't Sit Together. And Fruits and veggies, they release a gas which causes them to ripen. Some are more sensitive to the gas than others. So that is most of the time why your fruits and veggies are, I guess, going bad quickly, I would say.
So give me some
The
examples of some things that can't, some neighbors that can't sit next to each other.
Okay, so let me say I can pull up some stuff.
Yeah.
So
You said tomatoes. That's one that
right, so tomatoes, I actually store my tomatoes separately from any other fruits or vegetables. My rule of thumb is I kind of keep an eye on how the fruits and vegetables are stored in the market and where they are in respects to one another. So that is the best for me, the best rule of thumb, because trying to remember, okay, pears and grapes don't sit next to each other. It's the better thing is to just keep an eye of where you bought it in the market. Were these items hanging out with each other? Were they in a cooler? Were they stored out? Because those things make a difference. For a long time, I was storing my tomatoes in the refrigerator, and I could not understand why they would always go bad. Now I put them on the counter; they last weeks.
I just thought about that. I just bought tomatoes.
And where'd you put them?
I bought them at Trader Joe's, and you're right. They weren't in the refrigerated section, but I instantly brought them home and put them in the refrigerator. That's a good point to think about or really focus on where the fruits and vegetables are located in the store.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. So same with peppers. My peppers, I brought the peppers home and put them instantly in the refrigerator too. So, and they weren't refrigerated. So
Right. And so another trick with peppers is to cut them up and freeze them. And they really, really do freeze well. You'd be surprised. Like I got a big box of green peppers one day, and I just chopped them up, diced them up, put them in a Ziploc bag, froze them, and it worked out well. I think a lot of people, it's just a natural reaction for us to always put everything in the refrigerator. Everything just automatic. We think that is what preserves it, but sometimes it can cause the ripening process to speed up by putting it in the refrigerator.
So
yeah.
you mentioned earlier about bananas. They always are the first like fruit to turn brown, turn black. What is your suggestion for bananas?
So when you purchase bananas, it's that little plastic thing that's wrapped around at the top of the banana, the head of the banana.
Yes.
That is actually what causes it to. That's what preserves it. So even if you take some saran wrap and just wrap up the head of the banana, that will give it a couple extra days. So just keep in mind, you probably never notice when you buy bananas, it's always that plastic rim around the top of the banana. Just wrapping that back up in some saran wrap, and that will help preserve it. Being mindful where you're storing the bananas.
I store mine.
Bananas is just one of those things.
Like, where's an ideal place to store them? I store mine on top of my refrigerator. Is that not an ideal place?
Yeah, you can store them on top of the refrigerator. I typically keep mine out of sunlight.
Uh-oh. I can't hear her. Can you hear her?
No.
Chanel, we can't hear you. Oh, she's telling us some good stuff and we're
Yes.
missing. Chanel,
We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you. Can you
Okay.
when you said, because it looked like you were telling us some good stuff.
I said I store mine I don't store it in direct sunlight. I put it in the shaded part of the kitchen, and my daughter eats one banana a day. So
You don't have a problem of getting rid of your bananas.
I do not have a problem with getting rid of the bananas. The best thing that I could do, and they have things like banana bags. That helps.
I never heard of banana bag.
A banana bag. Yep, they have banana bags. But for me, the best trick would be to saran wrap the top of it.
So I noticed recently you posted what fruits and vegetables are in season this month. What are some of those? I probably could just go to the list and read them, huh?
Yeah, hold on. I can pull them up. Okay, so January we have things like arugula, broccoli, baby spinach, bok choy, apples, grapefruit, kiwi, mushrooms, potatoes, leeks, cabbage, cauliflower, celery. And the benefit of buying these vegetables in season, because a lot of people may say, well, what difference does it make? It tastes the best. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever tried to, maybe eat a watermelon in December or something like that? It's kind of like, it's not as good as it is in the summer
Gotcha.
because it's.
So what about if you buy them in season and freeze them? How's that work? Like if I bought them.
Well, the thing about freezing like fruits and stuff, I mean, it will still, taste good, but it may not taste as good because it's starting to break down in the freezer. So I would recommend veggies over fruits being frozen. If you're going to do frozen fruits, just buy frozen fruits out of the freezer section.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I've not had much success with freezing, like bananas, for example. You have to use them, because in the little smoothies, you like to maybe have a banana, but
Right.
you bring them home, you buy a bunch, you might freeze some, and they don't
freeze well.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also important. I'm trying to do this as well, is to just buy what you need. And sometimes it's good to just go a little under. So if you have been buying, as Cara and I were talking about, 6 bananas a week, 5 bananas a week, and you notice that 2 are constantly going bad, maybe buy 2 bananas so that you're not wasting it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already had a comment on here. It's a question actually. It says, if one strawberry has mold on it, can I toss it and still eat the rest?
I do not want you to eat that at all. I do not. No, I was in a produce store the other day and some of the peppers had mold on it. And I told the lady, I said, hey, you might want to, toss these out. And it's a privately owned produce store. And she was like, no. I said, no, I'm a foodie. I was like, no, you can't. The whole batch is done. That you've corrupted the whole pack. That's not a good deal.
So if one strawberry in your bunch has a little fuzz, you have to throw the whole batch out?
Yes.
Really?
Are you telling on yourself? Are you saying this?
Listen, I'm telling on myself. If I buy some strawberries and get them home and one strawberry has fuzz, I throw that strawberry out. I look at all the rest of them, wash them real good.
You eat around the fuzz. You're like, okay.
I don't eat. No, the fuzz is gone.
Okay, and you get rid of that, and you just eat around
the fuzz
it.
and watch. Yeah. So one strawberry, like they say, one apple spoils
the bunch, right? Yeah. Because most of the time with food, food releases toxics such as fruits and vegetables, and so it's been sitting and breathing in toxic waste. You shouldn't do that.
That it sounds bad.
It is very bad. Wow. And most of the time when that happens, they've already started to mold on the inside. They just haven't shown on the outside.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that right there is good to know.
Yeah, it is.
So tell us any more food hacks you can share with us. These are all great. I mean, I'm some new ones. Hi, Cece. We have another good girlfriend. Hi. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So
another food hack would be, I'm not sure if anyone has children. A lot of my hacks too are children based. Getting them to eat vegetables. How do you sneak vegetables in? What do you do with the picky eater? Things like that. And I'm actually getting ready to write an article on making your own baby food. It's actually cheaper, it's healthier, and it takes 2 seconds. So that's one of my other hacks is, how to work with that picky eater, children that don't like to eat their vegetables. Like my daughter will not eat spinach at all. I can roll it up in a Dorito. She is not going to eat it. So we do hacks like that, like how to help with the picky eater. Another thing is also purchasing food in bulk and freezing it. You tend to spend less if you buy, even like with drumsticks, you could probably get 12 of them for maybe $7. Okay, pull out what you need, freeze the rest. Freeze them in smaller increments so you're not wasting it. So I don't recommend splitting the pack if you live alone and do six drumsticks here. You know what I mean? Put it in maybe increments of 3 or something like that so you're not wasting, as much. So breaking down food into smaller increments is another good hack. Also, eating the food in order. So for me, we don't waste a lot of food because we eat the food in order. Things like carrots and cabbage, they have a really, really good refrigerator life. So those are going to be the last things that I eat. But maybe something like zucchini or squash or something that I know will spoil within a few couple of days. Eating those things first. So when you're cooking in order, to assessing your refrigerator and saying, hey, these items will expire quickly. Let's eat these first, and saving the ones that have a longer refrigerator life for last.
So what are some of the vegetables that have the longest life? Cabbage, I know is one.
The two longest would be cabbage and carrots. I would think those two would probably those are my top two that I save for last. Also keeping your refrigerator at a good temperature, because sometimes you can wilt your fruits and vegetables because your refrigerator is too cold.
Oh, too cold. So what temperature? What's the temperature?
Just the recommended standard one. And I just go a pinch under the recommended with just a small little pinch.
That might be an issue. I always feel like I always thought it needed to be colder to keep it fresh. So you're saying it might be too cold. That's probably why. Okay.
Yeah.
Back on that. That's a good one.
Yeah, so when you go to the grocery stores, all of those refrigerators are under climate control because it causes the food to wilt. Yep.
Yeah, 2 good points you've made so far. Look at the grocery store for me that I'm really going to take right away. Look where the food is stored in or how they have it stored in the grocery store and what it's located near to figure out how to store it at home, and also temperature control in my refrigerator. Those are 2 immediate things that I'm going to start doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Very good.
These hacks are important. A lot of times we just waste a lot of food because it's not stored properly. Like I said, with the tomatoes, I used to go through tomatoes. I cook a lot of tomatoes. I use a lot of tomatoes, and I couldn't understand for the life of me, like, what is going on here? Like, why? And so I actually, the guy that owns the produce.
Every time she gets to some good stuff.
Right, it goes to mute.
Her sound go out.
We can't hear you. Can you hear us? We can't hear you, Chanel.
And she on pause.
You hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes, start over. The guy that owns the produce store.
Oh, the guy that owns the produce store, he was really, really knowledgeable about food. So I actually spoke with him one day just about storing fruits and vegetables, and that's where that conversation came about, where just a lot of people just don't store their food correctly, which is causing it to go bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what about so have you done any research on, like, does it matter where you buy your produce? I mean, I'm really picky about, and I don't even know if this means anything, but I'm very picky about where I'll buy certain things. Like, I have certain grocery stores, I just won't buy produce from them. It's just because in my head, I feel like it's not as good as other grocery stores. So have you found that some chains are better than others, or it really matters where you buy your produce, or is it more of observe it and look at it and smell it kind of thing?
To me, it does make a difference where I buy certain items. I purchase a lot of my dried goods from maybe like places like Walmart or something. But when it comes to like my fruits, veggies, meats, I'm very selective. I like the way that Wegmans packages their meat. So,
Mm-hmm.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, okay, because it was so I like for me, I like the way Wegmans packages their meat. So for just, I might go to maybe Safeway for seafood, or I might go to this place for apples and this place for something else. For me, it does make a difference because sometimes when you go to some of the, I don't, some of the smaller chains, they don't pick through the food, so they don't really pull out the expired items, and so that sometimes is a problem too. You're bringing home items that have been sitting in the supermarket for longer than what it was supposed to. Most produce stores are supposed to pick through their stuff every day, but that doesn't always happen. Sometimes they're just boxed up, put in the bag at night. In the morning, that same box comes out and they, unpack it. Where some of the bigger food markets are more accountable for their produce than others. So I would say that it does make a difference where you buy your produce, where you're comfortable, because and another thing is, I did an interview with another chef, and we talked about healthy eating in the Black community and how we could get more people to eat their fruits and vegetables and things like that. And one of the biggest things was meeting people where they are. A lot of people, you would be surprised, do not have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. So what do you do in the event that you're surrounded by mom and pop shops that are not going to offer fresh kale and strawberries and things like that? What you want to do is, the next best thing is to go frozen, and if you can't get it frozen, then go can. You want to rinse it, of course, when you're going can, but you have to meet people where they are so that they're able to get these fruits and vegetables in. So if you are somewhere and that big chain market is not an option for you, then always go frozen. And if you can't get frozen, then go can.
So
but
frozen over can, frozen then can.
Yes, frozen then can.
I have a question too. What about organic versus non-organic produce?
Mm-hmm.
It's a personal choice. It's kind of like when you buy meat and they say, well, this one was farm raised. What it's essentially saying is, this chicken has not received any antibiotics, or this they haven't been cooped up. They've been free range. They haven't been basically ran in the mill. So it's a personal preference. For me, if I'm going to a decent market, I don't have to buy organic. If I am going to a more sketchier one, like I'm just catching one on the wind, like just stopping by like a random market that I normally wouldn't stop in, then yes, I would do organic there.
Are there some fruits and vegetables that are like better to have organic? So you're saying it really doesn't make a difference if you go to any.
For me, it doesn't, but organic is supposed to be always better. It's supposed to be better. It's supposed to be the better option. I buy organic for my daughter, mostly like her bananas, and she's like stuck on apples and things like that. And if you were to buy organic, it would make sense to buy the things that are in season organic. You know what I mean? So that would be my suggestion. But for me personally, I don't have a preference when I'm going to a reputable supermarket.
So I have a question about cleaning your fruits and vegetables. So I use a lot of vinegar and lemon juice when I'm cleaning things. What do you do? Like, how do you clean your fruits and vegetables?
Well, with my meat, I do water and lime. One thing that I touch on with meat is lemon and lime are acidic, so after a while they can break down the texture of anything. I don't believe in some people like to soak those things overnight and for hours and stuff. I don't I don't do that. I'm a lime girl. I started with salt water. Then I went to water and vinegar, which is a good one for fruits. But anything that I wash, it always has a lime in it.
So you like lime over lemon?
I definitely like lime over lemon.
Okay.
Yeah, I prefer lime over lemon. And it was more so a trial and error. And then when I started really like looking at some of the blogs in the Caribbean, that's all that they pretty much use. They use oranges, they use lime. And I said, well, let me give it a try myself to see if there's a difference. With meat, there is definitely a difference when you use lime. With
What's the notable
It's
difference?
cleaner. The meat is cleaner. It gets it really, really clean.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. And so you can do vinegar and water for like your strawberries or anything like that, or your apples or something like that. You can go sit, the apples in some vinegar and water, go do something for a couple minutes, come back, rinse them off. But just that regular, just running it over water, that doesn't get anything off of it. I also have a little brush that I have. It looks like a finger brush, and I use that, and I'll just scrub on, if it's an apple or something for my daughter. Even things that have a skin on it, that still needs to be washed.
Yeah, that's the ones I think really need to be washed. Things with skin.
Yes, even if it's like an orange and you're not going to eat the skin, you still want to wash it because you're cutting into it. So you're cutting the germs from the skin into the fruit.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we have a comment from one of our good girlfriends. She said she uses oranges all the time.
Yes, oranges is pretty good.
Yep. Well, good.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes. Anything else you want to share with us?
I don't know. So those were the hacks. Those were the hacks. I did have questions for you girls though.
Okay. Uh-oh, we on the spot. Come on, ladies.
So I think I touched on, healthy eating, and some of my blog and my interview, we talk about healthy eating in our culture and what can we do to promote healthy eating amongst us. What are some of you guys' holiday traditions, and do you think that plays a part on how you cook and how you eat? So when I mean by that, I'm talking about like if you're making greens, are you putting the neck bone in there? Are you putting the salt in there because we love our salt in our greens? Are you doing the sauerkraut with the pigtails? Are you putting a half a kilo of butter on the cornbread? What are some of the things that you got? What do you guys think?
Well, I will tell you that I have been making the greens recently in my Instapot or my pressure cooker. And ever since I started making them in the pressure cooker, I haven't used any kind of seasoning, like meat seasoning or neck bones or any of that kind of seasoning. I used to use turkey necks in my greens, but I haven't needed them. And so it's cut down on that salt factor within the greens. And I've been using some seasonings that are salt free. They might still have a little salt in them, but they're salt free seasoning. And the greens, your cousin Patty has said that the greens are very good. So I take that as a compliment that she liked the greens, and I haven't had to use any type of like turkey necks, nothing in them. There's just greens and a little seasoning, and they're tender and juicy, and hopefully she, giving us all a little less salt in our lives. So, but I will say that every Thanksgiving we do have a ham. So once a year we do have ham. So, we still have the tradition of having ham. Christmas is a little different for us. We don't have a traditional Christmas meal that we do. We change every year, so we usually have some type of seafood and whatever. But Thanksgiving we are still in the tradition of having both turkey and ham, so we haven't gotten away from that. So, but once a year, I'm like, okay, we only have it once a year. I hope that's not too bad, but we try not to eat. As I mentioned to Chanel, we're very salt sensitive in our house because I don't use a lot of salt, and a lot of the seasonings don't have salt in them. So when we do taste salt, like if we eat out or if we have some outside food and it has a lot of salt in it, we tend to feel it immediately, like with a headache or whatever, because we are not used to eating a lot of salt in our house. So I try not to cook with, I try to use other seasonings, which we'll get to some of Chanel seasonings later that have been very good and don't have any salt in them. So, yes. What about you, ladies? What are your traditions?
For it's been interesting in my family to see the evolution, I should say, over the years. With many of us, the younger generation, well, now we're not so young, but when we were younger, not eating pork, raised in a Southern family, there was a lot of emphasis on, eating pork and the salt, as you mentioned. And as we've gotten, like, the younger generation moved away from certain types of food, then it influenced the way that our parents cook. And so now, like our, Thanksgivings and our Christmas celebrations, the meals are a lot healthier. So, in
Mhm.
terms of the greens, my mother's not using, she's 80. She's not cooking with a lot of salt at all. She knows that it's not good for anybody. So she's not doing that. Um, we really don't have any pork product in our, in our meal. There's an incorporation now of fish too. So it's a lot. It's a lot. The traditions are still there. Like we still have the macaroni and cheese and cakes and stuff, but it's not like it used to be. Like I remember it when I was much younger. So it's a little, it's a little healthier now.
Mm.
Well, we still cook in the traditional way, but like you said, because of some things of the younger generation, and including myself, because I had weight loss surgery, I don't eat everything. So along with the traditional turkey, ham, or whatever, my son is vegan, so he always makes vegan options to have at Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner. Um, and then I fix stuff that's sugar free, and um, some things still salty though, but at home we don't, because the Marcus have high blood pressure. It's funny because he has high blood pressure and he's not supposed to eat salt. I have low blood pressure, and my doctor recommend that I add salt to my diet. So I cook with non-salt seasonings for him, but then sometimes I do add salt to my food because my pressure is very low. But but as far as like sweets, we do have the option of sweets. But greens, we been took the ham out the greens. We cook them with turkey necks or turkey bones years ago, so that's not there. Um, I guess because since we took over cooking and not our parents, it's not as much salt. Like you said, like because we don't season our food the same way they season. And that's one of the reasons why we stopped my mother from cooking. Shh, don't tell. But whenever she fixes something we ordered, we can already say like, oh my God, she put too much salt in this. Like when you go to eat it, you be like, oh my God, taste it. Or my sister said, your mother made so and so, but I had to go dock it up, add more stuff to it, add more food to it, so the salt is stretched because it was too salty.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so um, I'm very interested in other non-salt seasonings that you said you might have because I'm getting tired of the same ones that we have. Sometimes it's like, oh, we got the same old stuff. So sometimes it's nice to change it up and have something different.
Okay. So the reason I asked you that is, you guys, about your diet and, how are you doing with salt? Because salt has been something that has plagued our community for a very long time, and um, my suggestion always, when I do certain consultations or I interview with people, we talk about, seasonings and things like that. It's little things that you can do, like not buying processed meat, that could help, to actually read the back of the label. But what ends up happening with that is we read the back of the label and we don't even understand what we're reading. Mm-hmm. And my rule of thumb is if you cannot pronunciate it, you don't know what it is, mm-hmm. Don't buy it, because mm-hmm. nothing you eat should be that complex. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of hidden agendas in these complex words that we don't understand, and we have to Google. That's it's seasoned. This shouldn't be geometry. So for those that may view this now or view it later, if you saw something that has been an issue for you, small steps such as, like I said, not buying processed food, reading the back of your seasoning label, using herbs instead of using salt. It makes a difference. You can make a pot of spaghetti with not one pinch of salt, and you won't even know that you didn't add seasons by just using fresh herbs. Mm-hmm. So those little things, they do make a difference. And not to do so much at one time. I have dibbled and dabbled with all types of diets, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian. I've done them all. And whenever someone switches their diet, they feel like they have to throw everything out and start fresh, or they have to make this big leap. And that's what ends up being the reason that a lot of diets aren't successful, is because we throw everything out and we're essentially forcing ourselves to work this diet, when it should be something that's gradual. A diet should be something that you can manage, because it's no point of, if you're going to cut out all your carbs for 30 days, and then on the 31st day you're craving carbs, and now you're back at where you started 31 days ago. So you want to be able to manage any diet. You want to be able to wean yourself off of salt slowly by just simply sometimes just not buying it. I remember when we stopped eating pork years and years ago, I just wouldn't buy it. And before I knew it, years had went by. What was left in the house, whether it was a thing of bacon or a ham or something, all right, I ate it. I wasn't throwing it in the trash and I wasn't giving it away. So I ate it and I didn't buy it again. So, reading the back of your seasons that you use often and just seeing what's in there will definitely help. If anyone is looking into just changing the way that they eat this year, little things, they add up. Don't feel like you have to make this big old leap because it's the first day of the year. I got to do this massive change. That's how we feel. Let's gradually change our diet by just not buying things, and just kind of being mindful of, what areas that you need help in.
It's good did you say that, because me, I had weight loss surgery 6 years ago, so I don't eat a lot of things. And people always ask me, well, how do you not eat it? I don't buy it. If I don't have it in the house, I'm not missing it. I don't buy the potato chips, and I don't buy the snacky stuff like that, Doritos. And then now if I do want them, sometimes I might buy the protein ones. But I don't buy it. I don't have it in the house. I don't have cookies. Well, I do have cookies and cakes lying around because I bake, but I don't eat those kind of things because I don't buy them. So it's easier not to eat them because they're not in the house. And that's why I tell my daughter, she was changing the way she's eating and stuff. And she was like, but I buy snacks for my daughter. And our daughter's almost 2. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be buying her those snacks. She don't need to be eating that either. So don't buy them. If they're not in the house, you're not going to eat them because they're not there. And she's like, you do have a point, Mom. I was like, yeah, don't buy it.
Thank you. And with my daughter, what I did was I made all of my daughter's baby food. That's for one. And for two, for snacks and stuff, I would give her, strawberries, blueberries, whatever. And so now she is a fruit fanatic. I can't keep it in my house, but it was really more so what I introduced her to. And because I made her food, it also gave her an extensive palate. I didn't give her the stuff that was on the shelf. And I don't have anything against people that do, that do buy shelf products, but it's cheaper, it's healthier, to just invest in a blender and make your child's food. Yeah. You know what they're eating.
When my kids were younger, I made their baby food too. Me and my grandmothers. I ain't gonna take all the blame, but she started it. She was like, "No, don't buy that stuff in the jar," and she would cook vegetables, and then showed me how to just blend them or strain them or do whatever I needed. Yeah. And I started doing that. So, yeah, a lot healthier for the kids to eat. And I think now people get into convenience. What's convenient? It's more convenient to buy the jar baby food than to go home and fix some fresh string beans and then have to grind them up or blend them up or whatever. I think they get into what's convenient. And
Well,
that's not good neither.
that's an excellent point because even for, grown ups, so many times I think that's the struggle. Like, if you have you listen, if I had a chef here cooking it up for me, I would do a lot better with
Right.
what I'm eating, right? But if I'm leaving work, it's late, I'm tired, I'm sliding into a Popeye sometimes. I'm not gonna tell you every day. And that's probably terrible to have, right? Talk about processed foods but I'm eating the Popeyes and that processed biscuit and everything else. And so that's just for a matter of convenience. And I think all of the tips that we've heard tonight are extremely helpful, um, and help to promote a healthier lifestyle. But how can we do it and be like, how do you eat healthy out in the street? I guess that's, for someone that is not always able to be home to blend up stuff. What are some suggestions that you might have on ways that we can do it better if we can't get home and get in the kitchen and cook it up?
Well, I think because we went in and out, but I think what you asked, because you just kind of again, is how can we do better if we're not home? Is that the question?
Can we eat healthy and when you're not able always
When
to
you're
be
out,
home
yeah,
cook
while you're
your
out,
meal?
when you're out at a restaurant or
Most restaurants
fast
have
food.
healthier items on their menu. You just choose not to look at them. You look right over them, probably. I'm sure. I don't know. I don't eat at Popeyes, so I couldn't tell you Popeyes. But I know if I went to like maybe Kentucky Fried Chicken or Chick-fil-A, they have a salad with grilled chicken. So I do a salad with grilled chicken. Because I don't really eat fast food neither. So if I do go to a fast food place, I get a salad with grilled chicken or something like that. So most places do have a healthier option. Most of the time, you're just looking right over it.
Right.
I recommend when again back to when I had my little person, I use the mess out of my slow cooker. I am a big planner, so especially when it comes to food, I plan my meals, and it's not so much of sitting at the table and saying, well, this is what we're going to do Monday, this is what we're going to eat Tuesday. The night before I go to bed, I'll say, well, tomorrow I want chicken, so I'll pull that out. It'll be defrosted. I'll get up 5 minutes earlier, season it, put it in the crock pot, whatever. Now we have things like air fryers, which, is literally the best thing since the man walked on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Those so investing in little gadgets will be helpful. I mean, and they don't cost much. You can get a slow cooker for $25. You can get an air fryer for maybe $25-$30, and those are literally lifesavers. So if you,
I'm a big believer in the pressure cooker. The pressure cooker that we have is also an air fryer and a slow cooker. It's all in one. I'm telling you, I can cook fresh food every day in 30 minutes or less, a full meal between the meat and the vegetables. It's like the best thing ever. It's been a game changer. I used to spend all day Sunday in my kitchen cooking food for the week. I mean, literally all day after church, I'd come home and cook all of our meals for the week. And I mean, now that we watch church virtually, I know I'm still paying attention, Pastor Robbie, but I can get my full meals for the week cooked while church service is going. I mean, it's so quick. I can get 3-4 things cooked in that pressure cooker. So I'm a big like you, Chanel, and the pressure cooker, the air fryer. I mean, those things. And I made a commitment. I just told Andre, and it was hard today even because I almost ordered some carry out. But I made a commitment that the month of January, at least everything we eat will be made in this house. So I can do it. I mean, it's just like you said, it's a matter of convenience, or we're trying to. So I'm just going to be committed to it. That's how we're going to do it, and I can do it with those appliances. And it's easy and fast. It's not. I know Jeanette, your schedule's crazy, so I do understand. So maybe when you go to Popeyes and you get the chicken, just take all that good.
Well, I don't go every day.
I know, but just take the good skin off the chicken.
Yes.
Just the chicken and leave the good crunchy part.
That's the best part.
I know. I'm just saying, if you want to be healthier, or eat half the skin. Don't eat all of it. Just have a little pinch of the skin.
Just don't eat it. Just don't eat it. Just don't eat it.
I have to, every now and then I have to have the wings too. But that is a good suggestion, the different gadgets.
Yeah. You can just throw something in at night time, and then in the morning when you go to work, it's done.
Yep. You can also do meal prep. There are a lot of meal prep services for people that will make your meals for you for the week. And sometimes that ends up being cheaper than going to the grocery store or getting a gadget. It depends on, what type of lifestyle you live. For me, I use the air fryer. I cooked my dinner today in the air fryer. Tomorrow's dinner we cook.
My best friend.
Yes. And so, and those things are really good options, especially like with COVID going on. A lot of people have gained COVID pounds, and if going out and getting fast food is not helping us at all. I wrote an article called the weight of the pandemic, and it just talks about, the weight that people have gained over, during the pandemic. Being home all the time, we snack more, we're not as active and things like that. So when you tack on, the going out to eat often, when, and our food is cooked in all these sauces that are sugary and salty, but they taste really good. They're very addictive. We go back, that contributes to weight gain. So
I have issues with sugar, Chanel. What are some hacks for me getting off of sugar? Because I love sugar. I'm not a foodie. Like I eat my food just to get to my dessert. So what do you think are some good hacks for me to get off of the sugar? You got any ideas?
I would say do raw. That's probably, if you're going to use sugar, do raw sugar.
I meant like, when I say sugar, I mean like cookies and cake.
Don't buy it.
Don't. So you like sweets?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I like sweets.
Don't buy it. If it's not in the house, you won't eat it.
Don't buy it.
I wrote that in the journal very largely. Don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Also, dried fruit is good. You can get them from like Trader Joe and Wegmans or whatever. Dried fruit is good. It'll give you still the same effect of sugar, but it's natural sugar, and they're come in snack sizes. I think that will probably be. Dried fruit is probably the best option that I could give you.
Okay, I'll try some more I do like dried fruit.
Yeah, and don't buy it. Don't walk in the aisle. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Don't put yourself in situations where you may not win. Don't do it. Just don't walk down the aisle.
Skip the aisle. I need to skip that aisle.
Skip the aisle.
I did that today.
And Cara, do it. You don't have to quit cold turkey. We're going back to that because it's not going to be something that you're going to be able to manage. You know how you have your meatless Mondays? Okay, well, Monday, guess what? Meatless Monday, I didn't eat any meat. I want to eat a cupcake.
Okay, I like that idea. So Monday, I treat myself that day because I gave it.
Right.
I like that idea.
I was going to say that. Just have a treat day, like Saturday or Sunday, and then, but don't. Treat yourself once. Just because it's a treat day, it's not all day you eat sweets. It's just one treat. And treat yourself, yeah.
So Chanel, you've been telling us a lot during this discussion about different articles that you have written. How do we get access to those articles? Where are they located?
They're located on my website, thatbrittgirl.com.
That Britt Girl.
It is on the home page.
Okay, awesome. And we can always come back to other things, but at this point, by the way, hi Allison, Happy New Year.
New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
That barbecue sauce is the bomb.
The barbecue sauce was for you.
A good transition. So I was going to say that we were going to talk about your business. So I will say that Chanel, I bought some barbecue sauce from Chanel for my friend Allison here, my good girlfriend Allison here, and I ordered it for her Christmas gift, not knowing that I needed to get it to her immediately so she could use it. So we made that happen, and she told me afterwards, she was like, "It is so good."
It is so good.
Yeah.
Is it sugar free or?
Chanel, tell us about your products and tell us about your business, That Britt Girl, spices and sauces and stuff.
Okay, so I also have a barbecue sauce. It's called Johnny Boy. It's named after my grandfather, and it does have sugar in it. I am working on a vegan option. I'm trying to get some sugar out of the barbecue sauce, but the base of barbecue sauce is brown sugar. So I gotta. In my mind, I'm gonna work it out. I don't know how I'm gonna work it out, but I'm gonna work it out. So you can get plain, which would, just a standard barbecue sauce, my standard blend. You could get strawberries, you could get any fruit that you want. It would be in there. Or we have liquor infused options, which Allison got. She got a pineapple Ciroc, and it was so good. When I text Carl, I said, this is so good.
Well, first of all, I have to tell the story. I wanted to order. Anyone who knows me knows I know nothing about alcohol and I don't drink. But I wanted to order one of the, alcohol infused ones, and I thought I was ordering one off of her list. So I sent her a note and I said, "Oh, I want to order a barbecue sauce. I want to order pineapple Ciroc." Well, I guess I didn't have my glasses on that day because it must have said peach Ciroc or something. I don't know. So when Chanel texted me and said, "This is so good," I'm thinking, of course it's good. You make this all the time. It's good. But I didn't realize that I had asked her to make a new.
It was a custom blend.
A custom blend. I had a custom blend for you, Allie. You got a custom blend. And they both agreed it was delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So you can get it with Ciroc. I've done a cran apple, which is good for like barbecue. I did a peach Hennessy recently, so that was good like on chicken. I'm going to do a margarita one, which will be good on fish. So you can, and it doesn't have to have liquor. The thing about my experience is that with people is that I want each experience to be a custom experience. So you can customize my seasonings however you like. You can say, Chanel, I bought the garlic and herb. Can I have more herbs? Can I have 70% herbs and 25% garlic? And I can do that for you. You can say, with this barbecue sauce, I just want a hint of liquor, maybe not so much brown sugar, maybe I want more mustard or something like that. I can customize whatever it is that you want. I just did a garlic blend with nothing but fruits in there and garlic. And it's like really, really good on like your vegetables. It gives it like a nice fresh element to it.
What kind of fruit is it? I don't understand garlic and what kind of fruit was it?
I cannot give you a rundown, Carl, of my ingredients, but there is some oranges in there. There's some mango in there, and there's a little bit of.
So it's like citrusy kind of fruit. I didn't know.
Yes, citrusy.
Okay, gotcha. So what are some of your standard spices? I know I bought the garlic and herb. I bought the seafood, and I bought the chicken spice. Those three. I've used the garlic and herb and the chicken so far. They are so good. Really
The garlic and herb and my table blend, those are more so for people that have salt restrictions. So there's no salt in the garlic and herb and there's no salt in the table blend. Because I was trying to make seasons for people that have health ailments, but then we also have people that do like salt. So some of my salt seasons do have salt in them. You're supposed to use them sparingly, so you're not dumping, my stuff on there. You sprinkle some, revisit it, see if you need to sprinkle some more in there. But the ones that do have salt in them, they have them in there as a preservative because of the other ingredients that are in there. So we have a chicken, which is my best seller. That goes in people's string beans, green. I put it in greens. That chicken season can go anywhere you want it to go. There's a spicy chicken. There's a steak. There's a seafood. A spicy lemon pepper. I specialize in peppers, so there's a 5-pepper blend with habaneros and Cuban peppers and Scotch bonnets in there. What else do I have? I have ghost peppers. I have reaper peppers, scorpion chili. So say you have your chicken blend and you want to add a little bit of heat in there. You can say, Chanel, I just want to pinch a ghost pepper in there with my chicken season. You can say, Chanel, I want this type of season, but I don't want any salt in it. I just did a custom herb blend only with just cilantro, parsley, just fresh herbs in there. She wanted a hint of zest to it. It was beautiful. So I had that. So Trying to think. I have another spicy garlic and herb. I have a garlic and herb with salt, one without salt. Um, oh goodness, it's probably a total of 12 seasons that I have at the moment. So that's where we are.
So you
with
order
those.
them on thatbrittgirl.com?
Yeah, you can send me a message. That my contact information is there. Just send me a message. You can DM me, send me an email, and say, hey, I want to try this, but this is what I want in it.
And
Or
you ship anywhere, right? You can
I ship anywhere. Yeah.
Awesome.
When I get my pressure cooker, I can put chicken in there with one of these sauces.
Yes.
I might try that pineapple sauce too.
The pineapple Ciroc was really good. I mean, that was good. When I was making it was cooking for the last hour, and I tasted. I was like, "Cara, this is so good." It was good. I enjoyed it.
It looks
Good job, Cara.
Yeah.
It got that flavor.
It did. It did. It does. So, what I was gonna say, oh, goodness, I forgot. Oh, but you don't have to get it with alcohol. You can, like I said, you can get it with whatever fruit of your choice. You might be a grape lover or whatever. I can do it.
So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start this company.
Well, I'm a lover of writing. I love to read. I know a lot about food. I would call my mom in the morning and I'll say, hey, did you know this and this and this and there? And then one day Kinga said, Chanel, what are you going to do with like all of this stuff that you know about food? You going to talk to me about it every morning? I said, maybe. I don't know. So I started the blog, and it was just a way for me to start getting out.
Oh man. Every time she gets to the good
To the good stuff. Yes. It'll come back.
she'll come back. So yeah, I really do like the spices though.
It was all of these little gnats.
Okay. You missed a lot. So Chanel, you cut off a little bit. You were
Sorry.
about the blog, and you said you started the blog, and then
Right. So I started the blog to just write about little gnats that I knew that I thought could help people that was in the food industry. Then I started reaching out to chefs all around the world. Like I've done chefs interviews with chefs in Canada, Africa, Candace, Texas. I mean,
Uh-oh.
You're
can't hear you. We can't hear you.
That's all. And it's all the good
so
stuff.
we just sit down. We have these talks about food. We talk about how people got started in the business, what their love of food is, where did it come from, their passion. My page also, I hope to inspire people that are coming into the business and gives them little hacks on, what are some mistakes that this person has made? They've been in the business 20 years. So what do they know now that they wish that they would have known in the very beginning? That's always my last question that I ask people when I wrap up my interview. So I started the interviews, and my seasonings, the reason I started that was because I've always been able to create good flavors. I'm a big cook. I love cooking. Cooking is my life. I have life-threatening food allergies. So at one point I thought food was going to kill me. I was in and out of the hospital every other month having some type of reaction to something that I ate. So I got control of my life by controlling what I eat. And I've just been on the road with seasonings ever since. I mean, I have a net to just be very versatile and to be able to create whatever it is that I'm asked to create. And so why not monopolize off of something that you're able to do? And yeah.
So when you go to restaurants and you taste something you like, you can go home and recreate that at home, right?
I definitely can. I'll taste it, and I do it even with my daughter. So I'll ask her, I'll say, what flavors do you taste? What are you getting? That is me. That is, and I can tell what you did and what you didn't do. I'll say, tell the chef, the cook. Tell the cook, I know what you did. I know what you did. I don't want this.
So your interviews are on the website also, That Britt Girl?
No, the interviews are on Instagram. They're streamed live.
Nice.
They're on Instagram live.
And what's your Instagram, That Britt Girl?
That Britt Girl LLC.
That Britt Girl LLC. Okay, good. Okay.
Yep. So that is my story. That is how I got into this season business. Food has always been a big relaxer and escape for me, and so I love food. I love to talk to people about food. I like to educate people on food. I like to have conversations with people about just where they are, and it doesn't matter where you are in your life with food. You could be a beginner, in the middle, experience. I can meet you wherever you're at with it. So that's just, and hopefully this retires me. But if it doesn't, this is my purpose and I'm enjoying it.
That's awesome. Yes. Yeah, and the beauty of it is your daughter's watching you create and build an empire. It's always great to have the next generation see that type of, influence in their life. So that's awesome.
Yes, we're moving to Amazon soon. So our products will be on Amazon soon.
Awesome.
So she'll be able to help me with that part of my life as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And she's a part of your business because she handed me my spices. She's part of distribution. She's distribution. So well, I'm really proud of you, cousin. I'm super proud of you, and I'll be ordering some more items. So I will be in touch. But I think we have all your contact information, thatbrittgirl.com, to order spices and sauces, and to see the interviews, thatbrittgirl.llc on Instagram. And I hope you'll come back and join our Good Girlfriends.
I have a question.
Oh.
I have a question. Do we have a range of prices?
Okay, so the prices vary. So 1 ounce of a custom blend starts at $8. The 4 ounce regular blends, they are $11. Custom blends start at $15, and they go up based on the ingredients.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about pricing is, it takes me on average to make an order at least 3 days. So it's the machines, my time, and all kinds of other stuff that goes into it. And
You gotta explain. I
I know,
understand.
you have to explain that. I'm pleased with my order. Let me just say. And like you said, I didn't use a whole lot of the seasoning on my chicken, and it was perfect. I mean, you don't have to, it's gonna last me a long time, the seasoning that I bought. So it's a great seasoning. I will endorse at least the couple that I've tried so far. I haven't tried my seafood seasoning yet, but the chicken,
That's good.
The seafood seasoning's good.
Yes, I've used that a couple of times.
And
I'm sorry, you guys had went out. The back of my house is the woods. This is craziness. I'm sorry. What did you guys say?
We were telling everyone that I've tried the chicken seasoning and the herb, the garlic and herb. Is that what it is? It's called garlic and herb.
Mm-hmm.
And they are both fabulous. And Allison said she tried the seafood one, really good. So we were just talking about how good the seasoning. They're definitely worth the price. That's all we're gonna say.
It would be awesome to everybody get the seasoning, and then we have a little show where you show us how to make music.
Yeah,
right?
we can do that. Want to do that, Chanel? Look, I'm volunteering, Chanel. Will you come back one day after we get our seasonings and
do a little cooking?
Recipes?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
That would be
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
Yeah, I can show you guys how to do different knife cuts, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, just let me know.
Okay, we'll pick a date. We'll get on your calendar. Her calendar is tight, y'all. I have to tell you, I booked this date back in November because she has a tight calendar. That's okay. We'll get on her calendar. Maybe next quarter. By next quarter, we can get her back here.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But that would be
Excited.
great.
I can't wait to order something.
Yes.
Yeah, just let me know.
Thank you, Chanel, for joining us tonight. This has been awesome. A great way to start our new year. We're all going to try to be healthier this year. Baby steps. I liked all the points you gave. So we're gonna go and say goodbye now. But Chanel, don't leave the Zoom. We have a little after party. We want to say thank you separately afterwards. So hang out. But we're gonna say goodbye to our Facebook world and everybody share this with your friends and family so that we can all have a healthier lifestyle this year, 2022. Part of our self-care. All right. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you in
Happy New Year, everybody.
See you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. We're scheduled to have some I think it's a shopping night. That's all I'll say about it right now. We're gonna have shopping that we're doing for fashion. Fashion shopping is coming up in 2 weeks. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you. Good night.
Good
Good
night,
night.
everybody.
Good night.